When the dog bites, when COVID hits, I'm not even mad. I simply remember that we got vaccines, but 2020's still whack.
It's 4:44 in the morning of August 8th, 2020. I just had to troubleshoot the camera because I got so panicked. It didn't work at first. I had to plug it in um in and out of the USB port, but then it started working again, so yay. Turning it on and off does work. Might I add, there are sausages for breakfast that are steaming downstairs. Sausages. Am I crazy, or are the shape of my teeth are shaped like my nails? Oh, look at that. They kind of are they shaped similarly? Oh, that's weird.
Trying out the cell phone mic this time, see if it works. Sup y'all, welcome to channel Zarovsky. I'm Zarovsky Crystal, and if you're close friends and family, I'm fine. Sherlock's fine. I am currently not foaming at the mouth and am somewhat of sound mind and body. Sorta. All my anti-rabies shots are complete as of writing this. I'm not even mad. My general demeanor when I got bit was, you know what? Fine. This might as well happen. Back to your regular schedule of on-brand feral. Background: Sherlock is an Aspen. He's not an indoor dog, and neither is our Lhasa Apso Hamilton. Neither of them go outside of our property either. Gates always closed. But between our garden and vacant lot they have relatively ample roaming space, whether for zoomies or sleepies. We love and care for them like any other family member, but that apparently doesn't take away any instincts of whatever's ingrained in Sherlock's head that makes him unpredictable. For the past month he's remained chill and hasn't snapped at anyone once, outside of maybe play fighting. One of his usual spots is by our door that leads to our dining, living room, or sala. There's a grate there to keep him or Ham from entering. When he's sitting there and we have to get through, either he moves away or we move around him, paying us no mind, almost dozing like. This arrangement's been going on for maybe close to a year now. Before he's had a chance to snap, snarl, and or bite at every member of the family, visitors, and people who've served us like maids and laundrywomen at least once. That's why when the laundry or ironing lady or anybody else who works for us comes over, one of us has to leash Sherlock, but for the past months he's been chill with us, our nuclear unit here, living without incident for the past couple of months. Business as usual, feeding, watering, playing, cuddling, and scritches. But on the eve of August 6th, I'm climbing down the stairs from our study. One hand I'm clutching the paperwork for my art pieces, sandwiched with notes for the Arcana script. The other hand is holding my bowl-sized glass of iced coffee and ice. Sala door open, grate down. Parents vegging out on the couches in front of Korean Netflix. Sherlock's chilling by the grate. From the stair landing I call out Sherlock's name as per our ritual, and he sees me from his spot. I approach by the side of his head so he can see me instead of going behind. He snarls and snaps at the crook where my leg meets my foot. Rather than wrestle my foot out of his maw, which is now wriggling as he's clamped down, I just stood there and took it. Not a drop of blood or coffee spilt. Mom and Dad rush over. I look over at Sherlock, who's long detached by now and still close by. He gives me those puppy dog eyes laden with absolute guilt. Mom and Dad are in full panic fuss, and Dad's getting Sherlock to back away with empty threats and a brandished spray bottle. That was the closest thing to him at the time. Once Sherlock's patted off, I have Dad take my coffee. I lay down my papers, and Mom corrals me into the bathroom for Irish Spring. Irish Spring soap, water, and body soy sauce. But it could have been hella worse. It could have been a sick dog we didn't know, or basically any injury that doesn't involve my nails or teeth, I can recover without much complaint. Like nails and or teeth related injury make me weak in the knees. Like that one time that involved my toenail being pried off the nail bed. Like that's my YouTube legacy, not my video essays, not my art or fandom ranting, but foot related injuries. Nobody tell Dan Schneider or Quentin Tarantino. I've had headaches, PMS, stomach bugs, and sick days worse than this bite, to be honest. If I had to choose between any of those or the bite, I choose the bite. Emotionally, I was fine then, I'm fine now. What can you do? Meanwhile, the rest of the household remained pissed at Sherlock for a while, and to quote Broski Cristal, talking to Sherlock Ski Cristal, you have been antagonized by the state. End quote.
So that's a culprit. I think he's guilty. I think he feels guilty. Look at him. Look at him. So shady. So very, very shady.
As for our loved ones, they were on edge for about a week because I posted it on Facebook. Everybody knows and got concerned, as well as family, friends, and coworkers. One even said she'd pray for my recovery. Aw, thanks, Ate Bang. And thanks to everyone who asked and prayed for me. Appreciate it. So, morning of the 7th, the literal morning after, we get to the Animal Bite Center at City Hall. Anti-rabies is free, 20 pesos for the syringe. I had to ask permission to take pics because most clinics, hospitals, and what have you have a policy about privacy. Itchy pinprick again, can't scratch, and for 2 days, no bagoong, patis, or fish sauce, or fish, oily fish, or chicken, but pork and beef is fine because the other stuff might react with the vaccine. And oh goody, I get to wear makeup again. Just eye makeup though, I ain't bothering with the full face for mask wearing.
Oh my land, I near panicked again because it stopped working. I did it one time and it stopped working, and now I'm going to dry my hands with alcohol because my hands keep getting dirty from reaching at the back of the computer. But it's all kosher for now. It's all kosher. It's kosher for now. So it was raining earlier, really hard in Sheets. It stopped for now. I think it's just drizzly and cloudy. And my parents were actually debating on whether or not we were going to continue today. But yeah, let's see what happens. And might I add, I'm already sort of dressed up. My makeup's not yet done, but might I add, I would have been fine with canceling. John Mulaney was right. Canceling plans is like heroin, but I'm good for either.
But on the night of the 8th, we get some horrible news. Former Manila Mayor Alfredo Lim passes away at 90 due to COVID-19. Not long after, current Mayor Isko Moreno Domagoso voices his tribute to his former boss, and the lights of City Hall, including the tower, was put out. Not only has he served the city, but also the state as both senator, secretary, and NBI director. He was always good to my mom when she served under him. He loved history, so he always commemorated the past. Dude even had a favorite poem and could outpush up anyone on a given day. We never met, but last I saw him was years ago in a pre-ERAP caucus. As we were watching Isko's tribute, I saw my mom getting misty-eyed and I was like, oh, if she's gonna lose it, I'm gonna lose it. If she's gonna cry, I'm gonna cry. So far, Old Man Lim had 0 corruption cases to his name, none that we know of, and we had to say goodbye to a good one sooner than we thought. We lost many a true G this year, the former mayor being one of them. Since we'd be going to City Hall the next day to get my second shot, I told my ma I'd help her with the black mourning ribbons. We opted our wrists instead of armbands this time. At the time, everything felt like crap. But it does get better, I swear. I think. Oh, he's in a better place now. While we're on the subject, a family friend of ours lost their dad around the same time, and I ain't saying their name for privacy, but just in case said friend is watching, that we are a message away, that we love them, and they are no burden, no chore. They are enough. They are so enough. It's unbelievable how enough they are. That's a quote from Sierra Bogas, who's a Broadway star. She's Christine, and she was Christine in Phantom of the Opera for some time. Okay, I'm done with the musical references. I still do not have a proper segue. If I screw up any dates or the timeline at all, it's because time passes by strangely in quarantine, as well as tomorrow bleeding into today at the stroke of midnight.
Yes, it works. I finally got up early to troubleshoot my camera. My my retainers are still inside my mouth. Yeah. Let's get to it.
My second shot was on the 10th, and the last shot was on the 14th. Mom, Dad, and I were out of there splickety lit. But on the morning of the 10th, folks were like, hey, wanna eat out before groceries? And I was like, okay, sure. We roll up to the mall nearest us. I have no office ID nor quarantine pass. Oh, right. MECQ, ZOMG. And I can't enter the mall. And I'm like, I catch my parents trade fuzzled looks with the security guard, but they go in anyway. It was a little hot, but I didn't care because I got several levels of parking space all to myself. All this area to roam around in, and my first time in a long time to be in a liminal space with no other reason than to just be there. You can see those parking ramps you may have wanted to walk down as a kid. I see them now up close, and no, I didn't walk down them because some cars were still pulling in, but I got close, as well as those stairs that spiral up them, but I decided not to, too dusty. Still though, all alone, no way to feel self-conscious, and I got some shots while I was there. Mom and Dad came away with groceries and takeaway in no time. Okay, so miscellaneous tidbits, events at iba pa. This month's, this year's been about as predictable as an adobo recipe involving stress-dyed runaway subdivision ostrich. Rewind muna sa 2019. My life was on its way to straightening and professionalizing itself out. Like I had a schedule and a timeline and future shows planned out and all that good stuff. Last November I had a successful first solo show, and I still haven't ended that vlogging series properly. Anyway, the 2020 plan was apply for different gallery shows, find the publisher for my poetry manuscript, and go residency hunting in and out of the country, preferably still inside of the Philippines. But none of that happened, 'cause plague! 2020 caught the damn flu and fit hit the shan, and now we're here. I swear, since the week of the dog bite, weird shit's been happening to me as if I pissed off the wrong witch and called me a hex girl without a band. It could be worse. It could have put me in an absolutely ratchet mood all throughout, but mostly I was like, what the actual fuck? Like, not mad, just bewildered and resigned, like, get up and move on. Like the time I was moving nail polishes. I'm holding 4 bottles in one hand, all screwed tight apparently except one, which happened to unscrew in my hand. I shit you not, it uncapped mid-lift and smashes to the floor. Not in pieces, mind you, but the neck's broken. No mess, not a drop anywhere, but the neck's broken and can't be screwed on. Spend the rest of the night transferring to an empty bottle, which luckily I had around. Next night or so, I slipped flat on my ass in dog piss while moving a tupper of chalky watercolors to storage. I'm not injured or hurt. I'm just pissed as fuck, pun unintended. None of my shit spilled onto the floor. Good, I get my brother to move my stuff while I clean up. Then bathe after that mess. Ah, the dogs pee. They usually pee on the first landing of these stairs, by the way. So, any good news at all? Broski Crystal got into the Dean's List. Ha ha! Swing, motherfucker, swing! Ha! Swish, swish, bitches, yeet! For the mucking haw! You got the skills to pay the bills, and don't none of y'all forget it! Meanwhile, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but a certain talent runs in our family's veins. For Lord knows how long. We do not choose our individual talents, nor do we choose when or how they manifest. All I know is it still exists in us. TLDR, I predicted when we have spaghetti for lunch. Pizza for dinner the other night. Real talk, I know at least to my paternal grandparents we have ESP, but instances are rare and far in between and could be chalked up to coincidences. But I swear the week during the bite and after, I've had successful predictions to little inconsequential things like predicting the next words out of someone's mouth, or songs following a shuffled playlist, or whatever's on the radio, and yeah, dinner. Mind you, I told my noodle premonition to no one. I just went to bed one night and thoughts of spag came to me. Not dreaming, not hungry, not craving, just the thought of spaghetti. Wake up, spaghetti for lunch. Other night, crave for yellow cab pizza. Next dinner, boom, yellow cab pizza. I apparently like a little anchovies now. Meanwhile, I've gotten into the therapeutic routine of braiding my hair every other week. Right now, my hair is about waist level. I don't bathe every day and I want it out of the way while I work. So I tried braiding and plaiting with efficacent oil, and I'm half sure my ass can't be addicted to menthol at this point. Like, that's what I figure my Omegaverse smell would be if not incense BO and butter popcorn. Do I consider it box braids or protective styling? Not really. I don't know, since I'm not working with extensions that wrap around the real hair and the ends are exposed, and my tuck game is weaker than Dan Bilzerian's expense excuses. And I don't sleep with a bonnet or silk scarf anymore. All I know is this hairdo works for me, my routine, and lifestyle. And I'm not like other girls. Other girls leave behind bobby pins. I leave behind snapped rubber hair ties. There was kind of this exchange where my mom walks in on me mid-oil, mid-braid, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Plaiting my hair with efficacent oil." And she was like, "Bakit efficacent oil? Baka makalbo ka, masyado matapang yan." And I was like, "To keep it out of the way." And she was like, "If it's in the way, have it cut." And I'm like, "I don't want to cut my hair." Like, for real, I'm gonna grow my hair like Laura Victoriano. You may ask, Laura Victoriano the woman or Laura Victoriano the monster? The answer, yes. Like, for real, ever since the quarantine, I ain't seen no barber and I ain't seen no nail tech. I might as well roll up to Rubik's DMs right now saying, "Hey, senorito, I hear you dig girls with long nails and long black hair, if so, I'm your man." Any... Anywho, Anywho, this has been Zarobsky Crystal of channel Zarobsky saying subscribe to get crystallized. Ciao for now, and hey, it can only get better, right? Shitski.